Hey, all you experts out there, this is the Monetize Your Expertise podcast, where we show you how to use your skills to pay the bills. Have you ever wanted to create a business that positions you as the industry leader and go-to expert? Join me every week to hear from amazing leaders and entrepreneurs who have successfully refined their skills in order to become experts and create extremely profitable knowledge businesses. To find all of the links and tools mentioned in this episode, just go to myepodcast.com. I'm your host, Grant Weherley, the online course guy, helping you every week to monetize your expertise. Hey, podcast listener. Today, I have an episode for you on 5 simple questions to help you decide if online courses are right for you. Not a day goes by where somebody doesn't ask me about online courses and say, I've been interested in making an online course for a very long time. I just haven't got around to it. Do you think this is a good topic? Do you think maybe it would take too much time? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. A lot of people are interested in online courses nowadays. It's a trending topic. It's becoming more and more popular, and it's super, super lucrative. But a lot of people have questions about whether it's really right for them and their business. So that's what today is designed to help you decide. But first, I want to give you a little bit of a teaser for something pretty cool that's coming up. I want to thank those of you who've already subscribed and left a review. Feedback's been phenomenal and really exciting to me. I really appreciate all the kind things you guys are saying. And I'm now working to put together a pretty cool giveaway, a contest to say thank you to those of you who are subscribing and leaving reviews. Some of you guys are going to get some pretty cool prizes. So make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes and Stitcher and help support this podcast. It'll help me continue to bring you more awesome content. So now let's dive in. So there's a lot of misconceptions about what online courses are and what they're used for and why you should use them. For example, a lot of people think of them as sort of a one-off side stream of like passive income, which it can be, but it's really more powerful than that if you leverage it correctly. I used to think about it that way as well. It used to be when I very first made my first online course, it was a side project. I didn't really understand the potential of it. I was like, cool, I can make some money on the side as passive income, which is cool. But then I started to realize how scalable it is, how much you can do with it, how really, truly effective it is at building other elements of your business. And that leads into the second misconception, which is not realizing how online courses can interact with other elements of your business, how they can help grow other aspects of your business. So let's get into some questions which will help you think about this, and also a little bit of explanation about how that works. So here are 5 simple questions to help you decide if courses are right for you and your business. Now make sure to pay attention to question number 2 and number 5 in particular. I think you'll find those are the most interesting ones. So first off, do you already know or have some skill set or base of knowledge that's more refined than other people who value that information, that same information or that same skill set? They value it enough to pay for it. So that gets at a couple of different points. And so let me say it again. Do you already know or have some skill set or base of knowledge that's more refined than other people who value that information or skill set enough to actually be willing to pay for it? So one major point that comes from that question and the way that I framed that is that expertise is relative. You can help somebody as long as you know more than them. So a lot of people get hung up on, the level of knowledge they have to create some kind of product like an online course. Well, if you know enough to help other people, then that's enough. Now, those other people actually have to, again, value that information enough to pay for it. So those are 2 separate elements of that single question. And if your answer is a yes, then that's a good indication that online courses might be right for you. And another way to frame that same question, because I know some people are creative, some people are more analytical. So framing that another way, is there a valuable message that you are passionate about sharing with other people? And again, the key word there is valuable. If you're passionate about it, it'll help you get through the process of creating it better. But if it's valuable, that means it will actually sell and be successful. So question number 2, would educating your market help you better sell your current products or services? Now, this one's super important because as anybody who's familiar with online marketing or marketing in general knows, a lot of times there's products that require some level of education before the sale. So for example, if you work for clients and you offer podcast production services, well, then having a course on how to podcast logically leads into your client work. Because a lot of people would love to make a podcast, but they're never going to be able to hire you if they don't actually know how. And once they know how, then immediately afterwards, they can actually hire you. And then there you go. Now you've just got yourself some new clients that are very educated. They're very well screened. They're now knowledgeable, and they've already bought into your whole brand and understand that you're the expert. So do you see how that works? Essentially, that's an example of the whole model of here's how to do something, and then the upsell of, okay, well, now you know how to do it. If you don't want to spend the time to actually deal with this element of it, let me do it for you. Let me give you another example. So say your company sells email marketing software. Well, then in that case, a course on email marketing would probably explode your business. It builds your credibility. It reduces churn of your actual customer base who are paying for your, assuming it's a SaaS product, your monthly software fees. And it also allows you to subtly pitch your software because in the course, you can demonstrate the use of your software in the actual implementation of the email marketing principles that you're teaching. So it does all kinds of things in one and logically leads into growing that other element of your business while generating additional revenue in that process. So somewhere along this point, this is where people start to really realize that an online course can probably help them grow their business. It helps and it works for a lot of different types of businesses, but let's get into a couple more questions to really drive home whether it's right for you or not. So question number 3, do you already have any content out there? This can be a book, blog posts, podcast interviews, YouTube videos, anything at all that's content that might be able to serve as a solid foundation and initial start to a course. Now, this isn't necessary at all, but it's helpful and helps offset that initial workload of pumping out the content for a course. Because if you've made content at any point for any part of your business, then oftentimes it's very easy to actually pull all that together and have that to be the beginning of a really effective course. Question number 4, are you willing to invest about 1 day per week on this initiative while you're setting it up initially? Because if you do it right, then this can actually be enough. And so some people might be like, no, you can't build a course in 1 day a week. But here's an actual example of how that could work. You can run a weekly webinar that you run for 8 weeks on 8 different topics. You record the webinars, and at the end of 8 weeks, boom, you've got a course. You just edit out the pitch at the end if you have one. Another example would be once per week, interviewing experts on your topic of your course in a particular way to really make sure it's good content. You do that once per week, combine all the interviews, package them up, and sell it as a course. And that's an example of how you can pump out a course in 1 day a week or less. So again, if you answer yes to that question, if you're willing to invest about 1 day per week on building an online course, then they might be right for you. So question number 5, this is the last question, and this one I think is really important as well, just like number 2 was. So does your business currently offer one of these 5 things? 1 is info products. 2 is a high-ticket service or some form of client work. Do you offer a SaaS product, software as a service? Do you offer coaching or consulting? Or finally, do you offer live workshops or educational events? So quick recap, info products, high-ticket services or client work, SaaS products, coaching/consulting, or live workshops, events, educational events, things like that. So if you offer anything like that currently in your business, then online courses will likely be a good fit for your current business model. And the reason for that is that online courses help market all of these other things. So for example, number 1, info products. Well, if you have ebooks that you're selling or other courses that you're selling or other forms of info products, you can likely tie that in to an online course. If you have, as I mentioned before, the examples that I gave, if you work for clients providing some form of service, well, then obviously if you have some kind of online course on that topic, it helps demonstrate your expertise and build your brand as well. And it also helps you educate your market in order to get you more clients. I also gave a SaaS example as well. The same thing is true for coaching and consulting. It just helps you build your brand and expertise in a way that very few other things can do, which is essential for when people are deciding whether to hire you. In many cases, it's a very personal decision. Do they like you? Do they think you have a respectable amount of knowledge? Do you think they're helpful? So these are the different things people think about, and an online course is a great way to demonstrate that and also promote all of these other things in your business. And you might actually have multiple of those things that I just listed, And the cool thing is that as you grow your business, there's ways to connect all of these different products together in a way that they all support each other and all market each other asset that you have. But that's probably a topic for another podcast episode. So those were 5 simple questions to help you learn and understand about whether online courses are a good fit for your current business. So a quick recap over the 5 is, do you already have some kind of skill set that other people value enough to pay for? Does educating your market better help you sell your current products or services? Do you already have content out there? Are you willing to invest about 1 day per week? Or does your business currently offer info products, high-ticket client work, SaaS products, coaching, consulting, or some kind of live workshop or educational event? Now, if you answer yes to any or all of those questions, there's a good chance online courses are a great way to help you grow your business. I hope you guys found that super helpful. So as always, thanks for listening and stay tuned for next week. Hey entrepreneurs and experts, I just wanted to thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you learned at least one new big idea that helps you evolve your skills and gets you closer to monetizing your expertise and creating that successful knowledge business. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on iTunes and Stitcher, and check out myepodcast.com for all episodes as well as the tips and tricks mentioned in this episode. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.